So let's talk about when we have a trigger about how our conscious mind, subconscious mind, and higher self all come into play. And oftentimes, when we have a trigger, believe it or not, we don't even realize it. We think that we're taking responsibility of it, of trying to heal the trigger. But if we listen to our words and our vocabulary, we actually end up blaming the subconscious for the trigger that we had. And yes, I absolutely agree that we do run our 95% of our programs is coming from the subconscious mind. However, it is our responsibility as human beings and as spiritual beings, because we are here to expand, that we take responsibility for not properly training our subconscious mind on how to create the patterns and programs that we're needing. And we weren't taught that when we were little. So when we were little, we actually spent the majority of our time teaching our subconscious what we don't want. Well, now that we are aware that the subconscious mind will play these toxic and unhealthy patterns, it is our responsibility to now teach the subconscious what we do want. And sometimes consciously, we don't even exactly know what it is that we want. We use the logical side that is analytical, that categorizes and labels everything. So it may not be something that we're consciously supposed to train. Okay. But we have consciously trained our our subconscious, and we've consciously trained it in the wrong direction, hence where the higher mind comes in. So we have this trigger, and in order to kind of tame the conscious mind, we need to go to our higher mind or our higher self, whatever you resonate with, because that higher mind is a direct connection to source, the creator, that has all of the potentialities, all of the answers, all of the perfect guidance. So when we kind of set our conscious mind aside and we go up to the higher mind and we say, okay, what is it that I'm really needing? The higher mind will bring in that information. Now, remember, when the higher mind brings in information, we are still human, so it does go through that filter. Oftentimes, we send it through the conscious mind filter, which then analyzes, categorizes, labels, and is only 5% functioning. We need to introduce the higher mind to the subconscious mind. We need to, even when it comes into the conscious mind, direct that back to the higher mind and say, okay, we need to run this through the subconscious. When we run it through the subconscious, the subconscious goes, oh, well, yeah, I can create that program. And then what it does is it starts to create it. But the only way that we can introduce the two is if we get the conscious mind involved. We have to be consciously aware that that information is not running through the proper filtration system. So we need to talk to the higher mind, ask it to get the information. When it comes through the wrong filtration system, we've got to send it back, and we can send it back either to the higher mind or back to the subconscious. But we have to introduce the two to start working together. What I usually do, and you can do it any way that works for you, is that when it goes through the incorrect filtration system, I actually send it back to the higher mind and I say, higher mind, meet subconscious, or do you remember subconscious? I want you to have this conversation and we need to reprogram and rewire this. Now, reprogramming and rewiring doesn't necessarily happen overnight, because if you think about it, it took a marathon to program the subconscious. It's going to take a while to unprogram it, collapse the old program to replace with the new. So that's also where the conscious mind gets involved. We have a trigger. The trigger is very similar to the experience that we had. We talk to the conscious mind. We say, conscious mind, connect. We're going to connect with the higher mind to source, back down to higher mind, start reprogramming the subconscious. The other way that we can talk to and get to know the subconscious and let the subconscious know that we appreciate it and that it's there and we're not blaming it is that it's actually always communicating to us. It will communicate to us in memories, metaphors, and symbols. We need to be consciously aware that those are coming up. When they do, it is best not to ignore them. It is best to acknowledge the subconscious and say, "Oh, why are you bringing this up? What is the importance of what is happening and what is coming up?" Mind you, when we ask that question, if we have created a relationship with our higher mind that also has created a relationship with the subconscious, the higher mind will give us the correct answer as to why the subconscious brought it up. If it is something that we do not like, we can ask both higher mind and subconscious to work to create a new program. Eventually, when we do that enough, and I say enough almost like it's going to take forever. It doesn't. We actually work very quickly when we have a collaboration with I must say, the three selves, which is the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the higher mind. When we have created a collaborative, cohesive relationship that is very coherent between the three, this process of reprogramming happens very quickly. And I'm going to tell you, once it's reprogrammed, the trigger doesn't come back because you don't even consciously know that it's triggered because the subconscious is playing a different pattern. But we really need to be mindful about the way that we communicate and the things that we say, especially when we're going to be doing healing. We can't go in and be like, well, I know it's something from the subconscious. I really hate when the subconscious does that. And the truth of the matter is that the subconscious is actually doing what it's supposed to be doing. So imagine if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and somebody walks in and goes, I really hate when you're doing that. And you're like, well, wait, I'm supposed to be doing this. It can cause hurt feelings. So let's not hurt the feelings of our subconscious. Let's not hurt the feelings of our higher mind and ignore it. Let's not always go to the conscious mind that isn't designed to actually process information. That is what our higher mind and our subconscious is meant to do. And let's start having a relationship with it. But most importantly, let's stop blaming our subconscious for our triggers and the things that happen. Let's thank it because if it didn't bring it up, we would never have an opportunity to reprogram it, work with it, have a relationship with it, have a relationship with all those parts of us, and be able to grow and expand and be these amazing, magical, powerful beings that we are.